Once you're settled, we'll open the floor to questions for Coach Cal here. Let's start up here up front. Okay.
Did you get a haircut?
I did, yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Does it look good?
No, but go ahead.
Well. You mentioned Boogie looked good in the first practice. He was back. How's he looked since? Just how has he kind of adjusted?
He was good. Today his hand was bothering him a little bit, so he went light. But, you know, I'm trying to think of the rotation. Like, how am I going to do this? It was a great story when he came and said, look, I'm going to be able to go, but I don't want to hurt the team. They're doing some good stuff. And I said, but then he said, but if I can help this, I said, yeah, you can help us. We only have 7 guys. And so now I'm not, you know, how we rotate this and how we slide him in is going to be really important. And I'm just telling him, just go be you. Don't worry about making shots, shoot balls. If they go, they go. If they don't, they don't. Do some of the stuff you did before you went down.
And then you and Bill have played against or coached against each other quite a bit, twice in the NCAA tournament or championship games. Just have you reflected on those games at all since the matchup was announced, and how you kind of look back on those?
I've been so locked into what I've got to do for this group that I haven't. When I kind of predicted it, I predicted the whole to my team in practice. Here's what they're going to do to us? Should I say it that way? And the team is like, because I've done this. But playing someone that I really respect and have a friendship with, hard in this thing. It's hard because both of us are going to try to beat the other guy's brains in. And then after it's over, you're going to feel bad 12 seconds, and then you're going to move on thinking about the next game. But, no, they're good. They're big. They've struggled some, so have we. But he's a great coach, has built terrific programs and cultures that win. So it'll be a hard game for us, really hard game.
Coach right behind here.
John, Jimmy Golan from the Associated Press. You've been doing this for a long time. There have been a lot of changes in college basketball, and I'm just wondering, do you enjoy it as much as the job as it is now as opposed to maybe when you started? And also, do you think it's better or worse for the players the way things are going now?
Well, first of all, I'm kind of back to my roots of being the underdog. Some of you weren't alive, but I'm back to the roots of the underdog. If you remember in '96, we played here, and we played Atlanta, and then we played the Meadowlands. I don't know if he's in here, who walked me to the presser. I said, get over here, rub up against me again. He's here tonight and grabbed me out in the hallway. But this, this was one of those years that was so rewarding. Thinking about not this and that, all I'm thinking about is where we were, threw us in the coffin, forgot the nails. We bust out somehow. 0-5, 1-6, and 2 road games you have to play. No chance of the NCAA tournament, and all of a sudden we're here. So, you know, I've had real fun with this team, mainly because they're a bunch of good guys. We had to play without our 2 leading scorers for 3 or 4 weeks. You're done. They got both of their leading scorers out. They're done. And this team found a way. They became one heartbeat. And that was so enjoyable and rewarding for me. Now you go from this thing, while you're maybe in it, trying to figure out next year's team. That's different. You don't get a chance to relax or enjoy or nothing. You're moving on to the next thing. That makes it different. But it's if you're about the kids, it's the same. To me, it's the same. I've got the same job.
But you get them for 1 year and then they're gone, and then you have to. As opposed
So
to,
you know my career, right?
Yes.
That's what I've been for some of the other guys. Now, let me say, our league, you had teams that started 5 seniors. Like, we were the youngest team in the SEC, but you had teams that retained and retained, which is going to get harder and harder to do. But they had, and one team had a couple grad students and seniors. I'm not begrudging them. They're really good. But it's going to start where everybody, it's going to be hard to retain. And whatever's next, we'll just try to be first.
I guess what I'm asking is, do you enjoy this job as much as the job that it was when you started?
Well, when I started, I had no basement to go back to. Every game seemed to be life and death. I remember sitting in the locker room and saying, how did Coach Smith do this for 30 years, where I'm in the locker room not knowing whether we can win or lose. Then we got good, and 20-some of the games I knew we were winning. Done. And it was the other 10. Do you split them? Do you win them? What is it? Now I'm back to win or lose any game we played. And that means literally all year. We played 10 NCAA tournament teams, and I believe 5 or 6 of them in our preseason games or exhibition game, whatever you call them. So, no, it's different. The name, image, and likeness has made it different. The kids all being free agents. Guys, 15 years I had to retool teams every year. Maybe have 1 or 2 back, maybe have none back. Started 5 freshmen in what was that, 15 or 16? 15, I think. 5 freshmen, and we were in this tournament. Could you do that now? No. No way. There's just no possible way. But back then you could do it. So now I'm got to get a little more veteran, but I'm not going to stop recruiting young kids because it's what moves me, that being able to help families and it's what moves me. So I'm not going to change that. Just going to have a few beasts that have beards and kids in the stands. I don't know.
Thanks, Coach. Here to the left.
John, Matt Votor, Mass Live. Did you, when you saw the pod?
You weren't great when we used to work together, but go ahead.
Thank you. When you saw the pod come out and you see this building, you have history, Bill Self, you have history, Kansas, you have history, Rick, you have history, did you kind of pause in for a moment and just kind of appreciate that this is almost this is your life pod?
Well, do you want me to tell you exactly? It came down to the last 4 teams, and we weren't in yet. And I'm like, could they possibly do that when 4 teams that got in were below us in the SEC? They can't do it. Can they do it? And we got in. Then I started breathing. And I still haven't thought of all that other stuff you talked about. We've got a hard game tomorrow. Hard game. And I just want to be at my best where I'm helping these kids for 40 minutes. I do everything I can to help them. This year I've had to do this a lot. You have 7 guys. What are you going to they throw it away? I had one guy have 7 turnovers in a game, and I was telling him, you're doing fine. I mean, it's so, no, I haven't. But I know how good of coaches they are. And we're forgetting about Omaha. They had a heck of a year now. They're no like, well, they're not this and not. No, they deserve to be in this conversation too.
Hi, John. Nick Coy from ABC6 here in Providence. Just your reaction when you heard that Providence was going to be the place where you play in the first and second round.
Italian City. We already went out to Federal Hill, went under the pineapple. Let's go. Had a nice meal last night. And like I said, last time we came here, it was a lot of fun. At 4-0, we weren't able to go down there. I tried to tell the guys, you know. But it's, no, I love Providence. I do. I mean, it's, you know, it's been one of those places. By the way, their practice facility at Providence, oh my gosh. like, wait a minute, I remember they practiced in that old building, you know, so they've really done some good stuff there.
Coach, right here with Pete, to the right.
John, just a quick injury question on Thero. He's been considered doubtful for this game. Is there any chance he plays tomorrow?
Yeah, no, he won't play tomorrow.
John, do you have a question?
John Fanza from Fox Sports. When you've gone through that of you don't know who's always going to be playing, and yet this team has gotten here and they've punched that ticket, why has this group fought through a lot?
Really, really good kids, starting with DJ. He's a culture builder. Billy Richmond is opposite. He could care less, and that's how he plays, and I'm happy. So I got to deal with some of his turnovers. Carter has gotten so much better. Jonas is healthy. TB is taking advantage of his opportunity. And I say one guy's misery is another guy's opportunity, and TB's taking advantage. Now we need Z. We need him to play. Nelly, everybody wrote him off, and all of a sudden now Nelly's playing well. It took him some time, but so what? We were a brand new team. None of us ever saw each other. We came together. I walked in, and I said, I'd like to see the team before the press conference. And I went in, there was no team. And so we had to piece a team together and do this. That means you better have good guys. And part of our thing, whether it be recruiting or this transfer portal, it's really important for us that they're good people, because it doesn't always go like this. Sometimes it goes like that. And the only way you can dig out is you have good people.
Let's go here in the middle. Got time for two more, right here in the middle.
Michael Swin, 24/7 Sports. Coach, you started your season against KU, at least unofficially. When you look at this Kansas team, do you see much different compared to the start of the season? Or
They
what
didn't
are
have
those things?
They didn't have Dickinson. They didn't have Dickinson. We didn't have Jonas. We were centered around Boogie. They were still trying to figure out stuff, and it was, you know, I'm glad they came in to do it. It was a sold house. We made money for charity, and it was all that. But no, it has no bearing on this game.
And specifically with Kansas, then, what are some things you guys have to do well to slow down Kansas?
Well, their two big guys are really as good as they get in college basketball. One is the leading scorer of any player in college basketball. He's the leading scorer. And AJ just does stuff. Like, you say, well, he can't do this, he can't. Yeah, but he can do this, he can do this, he can do this. And their guards understand what they're supposed to do and how they play. I know they've struggled some, so have we. But I also know Bill will get his team right. And they're going to come into this game and play their best. My hope is we're who we are, and we can play our best. But you know, it's this time of the year you're still playing. It'll be a hard game.
Thanks, Coach. One more in the middle here.
Yep. Nicole Auerbach, NBC Sports. John, when you said that you predicted it and you told your team, is that about Kansas or is that about St. John's potentially in the second round?
Both. Not that they would be the two.
Okay.
I said they would be the two. If we come out 10, they told me who the 7s were. I said, we'll play Kansas. And if we're the 2, it'll be him. Now, I thought it may be played somewhere else.
Still worth buying a lottery ticket, probably.
Where do you think I thought they put us to play?
Lexington.
Come on. You know what and they didn't. I'm like, when I saw we weren't there, I'm like, wow, somebody must have been sick and went to the bathroom or something for them not to put us there. But look, this is so different for me in that fighting to get in it, the rewards of this. Let me say one other thing. Every one of these players was in a dark place at one point or another, really dark place. Questioning, can I play? Questioning everything. Every one of my players, and the first battle you have is with yourself. That's the first. Don't worry about the other. Worry about you. And your first battle is that. And we've gone through so much. I see kids smiling. Some of the guys, I'm like, I just love to see your smile. For 3 weeks, you had your head down and trying to say you're fine. And I also told him, you're never going to disappoint me. not the way you are as a person and how hard you're working and what you are, I'm never going to be disappointed. Just go play. We still have, some guys that missed 2 will miss 3 more. So they haven't quite broken through that. But we've got guys, like I guess throw out Billy Richmond. He just plays. If he makes mistakes, he'll look at me, my fault. Enough my faults. But he just plays hard. But, it's, for me as a coach, and me telling him this experience of being in a dark place and overcoming it, not someone else, you overcame it, is going to be with you for the rest of your life. And when you're in a dark place, you'll know I can bust out of it. And so we've had those kind of life lessons with this group. But it's been rewarding. Now, it'll be really rewarding if we play well tomorrow. And playing well will not guarantee that we'll win the game because they're really good too. Thanks.